Hi, welcome back to Fanny's Real Fitness. So today I'm going to go through a yoga inspired warm-up routine. Now it's important to say that I am in no way a yoga instructor or even a yoga expert. These are just some exercises that I've taken from my own very basic yoga practice and incorporated them into a warm-up routine that I like to do, so I wanted to share with you. Okay, so apologies to any yogas out there if the moves aren't quite perfect in the yoga sense, but nevertheless they will still give you a really nice good stretch and warm up through the joints. Okay, so it's a nice fluid routine that hopefully will target loads of key areas that people need to stretch out. So it's taken from some salutation sequence, and that's where we're going to start. Okay, so you want to stand with your feet about hip width apart, and make sure that your whole foot is pressed into the floor. So no sort of standing on the edges of your feet, all four edges of your feet pressed into the floor. I'm going to roll shoulders back and down, pull the tummy in, and also think about pulling as if there's a big string pulling at the top of your head to lengthen through your spine. So make sure, as I say, shoulders down, no hunched up, and then I'm going to start in yoga terms, prayer position, so hands together in front of the body. Okay, I'm going to turn sideways up because I think that's where you'll get a better view. So hands together, and I'm going to scoop up, deep breath in, little bit of a back bend, and then forward, fold down. I'm going to take a breath in and come up to a flat back, hands coming up towards the knees, and then again fold down and just let head go floppy. Okay, then I'm going to go hands to the floor. Now I have a wrist injury, which means that I need to go onto my knuckles, but ideally you want to go onto the palms of your hands. So hands to the floor. I'm going to step the right leg back to a nice low lunge, and then the left leg back, so we're into a high plank position. Then I'm going to drop knees to the floor, and then chest, leading with the chest, the upper body to the floor. I'm going to flatten out the feet, take a breath in, and a back bend up, and out as you lower the head down. I'm going to push the upper body up, bring the bottom back, curl the toes under. I'm going to go onto my hands here, and then push the bottom up into the air. And you can walk the feet in a little bit. So we're into downward dog. And in this position, you want to be pushing those hips or the bottom up to the ceiling and push the head through the arms. So we're getting a lovely stretch through the back of the legs, but also through the arms and the back as well. Couple of breaths here. So fill the lungs and sigh the breath out. Okay, then we're going to come up onto the tiptoes, and I'm going to point the heels of my foot to the right hand side and drop those heels down. I'm going to take my left hand and just walk the fingers forward. So we're getting a beautiful stretch down the side of the left hip. Again, a couple of breaths here. Make sure you're sighing that breath out, really empty those lungs. Not holding on to any residual breath. Okay, I'm going to flatten that left hand, going to come back up onto my tiptoes, point the heels to the left hand side and walk the right fingers forward. Flatten that hand, back onto tiptoes and back down to centre. Now I'm going to take the right leg straight up behind and then bend at the knee and bring that through the hands. Some people can do that really easily. You might want to just assist that a little bit by grabbing hold of it. So the right foot is in between both hands. Then I'm going to drop the left knee down, flatten out the left toes, deep breath in, and bring those arms up. So we're getting a lovely stretch down the front of the left leg into the psoas, the hip flexors. Okay, take those hands back down to the floor. Come onto the left toes and then step that left foot up to meet to the right. Okay, we're going to scoop the air up again. Deep breath in. And bring the hands back down in front. So that's one round. We're going to do the same thing leading on the left leg. So, scoop up. Down, breathe out. half lift, breathe in, and down, breathe out. Still on that breath out, take the left leg back and the right. Drop the knees to the floor, flatten the toes, and bring the chest down. Breathe in, push up, nice back bend, and down. Curl the toes under, bottom back, bottom up, walk the feet in. A couple of breaths here in downward dog. Okay, so this time I'm going to lift up the right leg, bend at the knee, and I'm going to just rotate the hips round. So the stretch this time is coming down the front of the body into the quads. A couple of breaths here. You're kind of looking through the arms under the right armpit. Okay, return that leg straight back to the floor. Going to do the same thing on the other side. So left leg up, bend at the knee, and then rotate. So this is a really good workout to do, or warm up to do pre-workout, or you can just first thing in the morning, or whenever you feel like it, whenever you're feeling a little bit stiff, and then back down into that downward dog. So this time we're leading with the left leg, aren't we? So we're going to go left leg up, and then that one comes through the hands. Right knee down, flatten the toes, and come up for that hip flexor stretch on the right hand side. Hands back down to the floor, and bring the right leg up to meet the left. Okay, scoop up, deep breath in, and back into breath. So you can repeat that sun salutation sequence maybe 4 or 5 times and really warm up through those joints, get everything nice and supple and fluid and moving about. Okay, but I also like to add on a couple of other of my favourite kind of yoga inspired exercises as well. You might find you want to add on, if you're familiar with yoga practice, you want to add on some different moves, or equally these might be just right for you as well. So these are areas that are particularly tight for me that I like to work on. So we're going to go into a warrior 2 position. So nice wide stance with the feet, and I'm going to turn the back toes in a little bit, and then the left toes are going to turn out to the side of the room. I'm going to take the arms out to the side, again always pulling that core in. I'm just going to drop the knee down. You might need to adjust the foot position. Now we're trying to get into a flat position as if you were sandwiched between 2 boards. So you're not kind of twisted, the hips should be back, the shoulders should be back, the arms in line, and you're just sinking down into this hip really. The knee doesn't want to come forward, it wants to stay above the ankle. Okay, so I believe that's warrior 2 position. Okay, then I'm going to drop my left arm onto the left knee and bring that arm up above the head, and then the opposite, so the right arm's going to go down to the right leg and bring the left leg up. So quite a nice flowy sequence. We're keeping moving, we're not really holding these stretches at the moment anyway. I'm going to go backwards and forwards about 3 times, and you'll feel here you've got stretch up into the sides of the abdomen. Okay, then I'm going to straighten that front leg. Just bring my legs a little bit closer together actually. Straighten the front leg, arms still out to the side. I'm going to drop the left hand onto that left leg, and so this is going to incorporate a stretch deep into the adductors, the inner thigh. So just go down as far as you can. It's not about touching your feet, it's just about feeling that stretch. Okay, so just slide the hand down the leg. My right arm's going to come up towards the ceiling, and I'm going to turn my gaze up towards that as well. If you've got the flexibility, you can bring that arm above the head or bring it behind your back as well. Now the important thing is that the shoulder's not dropping forward, so we're aiming to keep that shoulder back, and you're going to get a lovely stretch down the side of the body. Okay, so I'm going to come back up. I'm going to do the same thing the other way around. So we're turning the left toes in, the right toes out towards that side of the room. Arms out, and we're going to sink down into that right hip. So you may have noticed we've got different scenery today. I'm in the beautiful Lake District. We've got the rolling hills, and you might even be able to hear the stream running behind me here. I just thought it'd give us a little bit of something different to look at. So I'm going to do those rocking backwards and forwards, just to try and loosen out the upper body a little bit. Probably many of you out there are much better at these flexibility exercises than I am. I'm very stiff through the upper body. Okay, so then I'm going to straighten that right leg, and then hand slides down that leg. Remember, we're trying to keep the body between those two flat boards. Don't let the bottom push out, keeping it in line with the legs. Hand up if you can, turn your gaze, or as I say, hand behind the back. And hold these for just maybe 20-30 seconds or a few breaths, and you might just be able to slide a little bit further down the leg, and just increasing those stretches each time you do it. Okay, I'm going to come back up. Then I'm going to stand still in a wide leg position, turning the toes in. I'm going to come this way around. So wide leg, toes in, tummy in, and then we're going to bend from the hips as we come down, bring the upper body towards the floor. So again, we're getting the stretch through the inner thigh, but also down the back of the legs as well. And you can either just flop towards the floor. Many of you might be able to get further down than me, might be able to get your elbows onto the floor. Or you can do a variation of a downward dog, which is just to extend those arms out in front and press the head through. You can do that in a wide arm position as well. Okay, just going to do a couple more. So when you're coming up out of this, again, I want you to work from the hips and push that bottom back up. Okay, we're going to come down onto the floor for this next one. So this is going to really work deep into the side of the hips. Okay, this is one of my favourite areas to stretch. As I said before, it's one of the areas that I'm very inflexible, but I actually think that tightness there contributes to an IT band issue that I have. So anybody that struggles with IT band or tight hips, running problems, knee problems, this is a good stretch for you. So we're going to lengthen left leg out to the side. We're going to bend the right knee and press that foot against the left thigh. So we're going to turn towards the left leg, arms up, and then we're just going to fold sort of from the hips, leading with the chest towards that leg. Now you might only be able to grab hold of your shin, your calf, whatever. You might just be able to grab hold of your foot. But you will see in the next few seconds how much further we can get with just a few easy moves. So, nice breathe out here. Then I'm going to take my right arm, twist it up behind, and then return to that left leg. You can do that a few more times. So breathing in and out. So already I can get that right hand onto my left foot now. And again. And down. And in this position now, if you sort of look underneath your arm, through your arm, and pull it down, the stretch is all up here, and it feels like quite a deep stretch, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to hold that, and hopefully you might feel a little bit of a release, get a few more centimetres out of that. Okay, then I'm going to come up. Oh. Okay, and do the same thing on the other side. So right leg out. We're pointing toes up to the ceiling here as well. So nice flexed foot position. Left leg tucked in, foot against the right thigh. Facing that leg, arms up, and then folding towards that leg. Then I'm going to take the left hand up and behind and back. So now I'm getting towards the foot. One more. hold here for a few seconds. Take some breaths. The key to stretching is patience. So really try and hold them for a good 30 seconds or so before you feel, hopefully, a little bit of a release. But also persistence as well. So just keep going, and each time, hopefully, you will just feel yourself getting a little bit more flexible, even if it's just marginal. I'm going to do one more, which is a nice shoulder and chest stretch. This is a really good one for me with my bad shoulder. So we're going to come down onto the floor. Arms are going to come out to the side. Hands in line with shoulders. And then I'm going to roll. I'm going to bring, let me show you this way. I'm going to bring my right hand onto the floor by my shoulder. And I'm going to use that hand to push myself round onto my side. Now this is my bad side, so I don't have a lot of movement here. That's fine. So you may be able to pop, in this position, your right foot onto the floor and even draw that knee back a little bit. That's just a bit beyond what I can do at the moment. But I'm still feeling a really intense stretch. Okay, which again is all we're looking for. Again, you'd hold that for 30 seconds or so, take some nice deep breaths. And I'll do the same thing the other side. So roll back onto my front, extend the right arm out, use the left hand to press myself round, bring that foot onto the floor if I can, just about. And back down. And I'm just going to finish with a bit of a child's pose. So I'm pushing myself up, so toes together, and I'm going to open my knees out, and I'm going to open my hands out as well, and sit my bottom back down on my heels, and press my head and my chest towards the floor. Okay, and then very last bit. I like to keep hands on the floor, come onto your feet, keep those hands down, extend the legs, pushing the bum up, and then slowly uncurl and take a deep breath in. Maybe a little back bend, and breathe out. Hands together. And there it is. Okay, so hopefully you're nice and warmed up, feeling those joints supple and fluid, and ready for the day ahead, or ready for your workout. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out any future videos, and thanks for checking in.